As we enter the month of December, the Jayhawks still on home ice, looking to survive and stay in the matcha playoff tournament hunt. But standing in their way are the Dordt defenders from Sioux City, Iowa. The immovable force that has been Dordt is standing in the Jayhawks' way of their matcha playoff dreams. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. Alongside first-time color commentator Gavin Box, my name is Ryan Cartman, bringing you the first of two this weekend between the Kansas Jayhawks and the Dordt defenders. And boy, oh boy, do the Jayhawks have their biggest test of the season as they welcome in 17-1-0 Dordt, the number 10 team in ACHA Division III. As I bring in Gavin Box alongside me. Gavin, this is a big test this weekend for the Jayhawks.
Yes, it is. I think the real storyline for the Jayhawks this season has been penalties. There have been a lot of penalties that we've been taking, and yes, our penalty kill has been pretty good this season so far, but with this big of a challenge, we need to be making sure to stay out of the box as hard as we can. Yeah,
penalties is a big thing, Gavin, for the Jayhawks this year. As we take a look at the Jayhawks, 2 weekends ago, beg your pardon, the Jayhawks hosted Drury in some big games. Jayhawks took the first one 8-7, took the Saturday game 5-1, and this time they welcome in a similar opponent, a Matcha Silver West foe, the Dordt defenders, into their building. And, well, talking with head coach Andy McConnell before the game, this is must-win territory for KU. When you look at their matcha playoff chances, they have to win both of these games if they even want to stay alive, in the matcha playoff tournament hunt. Both legit must-win games for KU. And as we take a look at KU's starting lineup, the goalie that head coach Andy McConnell has decided to go with tonight is Ben Olson, the junior out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Started both those Drury games 2 weekends ago. That Saturday game and that 5-1 win against the Panthers. Faced 36 shots on goal and saved 35 of them, only gave up one. In that Friday game, of course, he gave up 7 goals. He was 29 for 36 on saves in that game. So he faced the same amount of shots on goal in both games. Gave up 35 in the back half, 29 in the first game. So showing some improvement there, that consistency that Andy McConnell's looking for. As we look at the rest of the Jayhawks defense, it's going to be Zach Roberts and Blake Hearn, the age-old pairing for these Jayhawks, both seniors. Roberts out of Orleans, Massachusetts, of course, and Hearn out of Orchard Park, New York. And as we take a look at the Jayhawks starting line, a last-minute change for these lines, Gavin. It was the Ibes, Brett Siddons, and John Feeney line getting to start, but instead, head coach Andy McConnell moves that line down and instead puts the Rowan Vaughn, Matthew Lang, and George Bullard line up to the start. And boy, they have been hot lately.
Yes, they have. I think they have also been a real thing to look for in the Jayhawks. I mean, Rowan Vaughn, starting the season off about as strong as you can, really. It's 25 goals, 14 assists. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, these lines Andy McConnell has kept the same since the Indiana tournament a few weeks ago, and this line was the most productive for the Jayhawks against Drury. Vaughn, 2 goals, 4 assists. Lang had 3 goals. Bullard, 2 goals and 4 assists. That's a line going left to right. Vaughn, the freshman. Lang, the sophomore. Bullard, the junior. It's a lot of experience on that team. All of those men out of Minnesota as well. Minnetonka for Vaughn, Champlin for Lang, and Maplewood for Bullard. So talking with head coach Andy McConnell before the game, the main emphasis on this game for KU is, man, you cannot lose the puck battles. Get in deep on your foretracks, control the zone, start off the game with some short, hard shifts, keep them coming as well, and that is how you knock a great team like Dordt off their game. As we take a look at Dordt, starting goaltender for Dordt tonight is Tim Nansen, the freshman out of Fergus Falls, Minnesota. And really, there's not enough things that you can say about this freshman. He is technically a sophomore, talking to head coach Tyler Morgan before the game for Dordt. But he played juniors last year, and, man, they describe him as a gamer and a psycho.
Yeah, I mean, looking at his stats, He saved 116 out of 117 shots this year from 8 games. I mean, of course, Jayhawks are open to bring up that number a bit. We're trying to, make those, give us a little more goals, but I mean, .991 save percentage, we're going to need to be trying to lower that number. We really are. That's going to be the key to this game.
Yep, 6 shutouts on the year for Nansen. 991 save percentage, .14 goals against, a clean 8-0-0 on the year. And you look at the starting defenders for these Dordt defenders. It is going to be the senior out of Worthington, Minnesota, Andrew Brenson, getting to start. 2 goals on the year for him, 15 assists, 17 points on the year. And you look at Tyler Welsh, his partner, the freshman. So you have a senior and a freshman on starting defense. Welsh, the freshman on Marshall, Minnesota. He's got 4 goals a year, 3 coming away of the power play, 9 assists. Fact about this team is that, man, this Dordt team, each guy on this Dordt team, besides the goaltenders, of course, have scored a goal. So this team just knows how to play offense, knows how to do it all. When you look at the forwards for Dordt, starting at left wing is going to be, or beg your pardon, starting, so try to get a look at who we got going. Okay, there we go. It's going to be Connor Prasklis getting the start on the left wing, the freshman out of Yankton, South Dakota. Center is going to be the sophomore out of Swamico, Wisconsin, Mason Specker. And starting right winger is going to be the sophomore out of Spruce Grove, Alberta, Ruben Horneman. Horneman, 19 goals, 11 assists on the year. Again, folks, this is a very, very talented Dordt team. As we pause for the national anthem. As we come back from the national anthem, we look at Dordt. Last year, Dordt, they went to the Nationals. They won Matcha last year, of course, as well. A big group of returnees is what Tyler Morgan points to this team's success. Head coach Tyler Morgan for the Defenders. This team, he says, is finally believing. It seemed so far out of reach for them. They finally believe that, man, they can get to the mountaintop. But they did last year in the Matcha playoffs, and now they're not just looking to win the Matcha playoffs, but they're looking to go above and beyond and set some expectations in Nationals. The one loss for Dordt this year, folks, very first game of the season, they are on a 17-game winning streak. I will tell you this, 2 weekends ago, they beat Lewis College out of Chicago, beat them 31-0. Yes, I said that right, 31-0 on the Friday game. Lewis ends up forfeiting that Saturday game, so it's been exactly 2 weeks since this Dordt team last played, and boy, they are ready to go in this one. Our linesmen, our referees are ready to go. Folks, we're ready to go. It's a cold evening in Overland Park, Kansas. It's cold inside Blue Hawk. Welcome inside as we are ready to go. Dordt will take the opening face-off, skating through it in the high slot. That is Specker. Specker goes around the net now, guarded by Vaughn. Vaughn still putting the pressure on him. Specker loses it. Now Vaughn picks it up. He'll dump it in the left wing side. Goes in front of the net, to the side of the net, of Nansen, and Nansen loses his mask there. Play will be blown dead, both because he covered that puck up and because of that lost mask. We're 18 seconds in. Mason Specker opportunity there as Dordt goes for a quick line change from that starting line. I think that Specker line was their second. So I think now they're getting their first line out here. That first line involves a lot of high goal scorers, including Rylan Veenstra for Dordt. Veenstra, the leading point getter of this Dordt team. Shot there by Vaughn off the leg pad. Rebound opportunity off the side of the net as the puck now comes to Hearn along the half wall. Hearn shoves it in on the doorstep, though. Dordt player gets to it first. Vaughn now will backhand it and send it around the boards in the near corner. Bowler tries to pick it up. He can't. Coming away with it was Dordt for a second. Now shot opportunity to high slot for Vaughn. He instead of backhands it down below the goal line as that is Espenson. Espenson sends it up the boards as this puck is carried in center ice. Flying down to ice here is Veenstra. Veenstra gets shoved over by Jayhawk in the near corner, but he has teammates there to help him out. That's Espenson with it on his stick. Espenson tries to feed it up to his brother Zach Espenson. Jayhawks able to clear it down as they'll go for a line change. Icing waved off. 80 seconds into this game, and boy, it has been a fast-paced game, back and forth both ways. Shot goes off a Jayhawk stick. Rebound opportunity, trying to flash that one in. There was Levi Loken, but he didn't get enough of a stick on it. Not able to keep it in there with Zach Espenson, so Dort's going to have to retreat. And here come the Jayhawks. Feeney with it. He gets it loose. Now it's Wage going after him. Wage pushing Feeney up against the boards. Brett Simmons, the Jayhawk captain, going for it, along with a couple other defenders. Finally coming away with that is Dordt. Along the near boards now, Nessa to Ives behind the net. Around it comes to Johnson. Johnson will send it back the other way as this puck is on a yo-yo. Loken backhands it out. Jayhawks get it, and he'll send it right back in via the stick of Daniel Ignachev, the freshman out of Basehor, Kansas. Big thing that Andy McConnell talked about, getting that forecheck in nice and deep, not causing too many turnovers. So far, Jayhawks fourechecks looked all right tonight. Of course, only a small sample size so far. Open man there on the back doorstep. That was Connor Prasklis. Couldn't find his stick, though. Good Dordt, near side now. Still Prasklis with it on stick. He gets knocked over, so the Jayhawks pick up that loose change. It's Ignachev. He hits along the glass. Icing will be not called here. Our far side linesman had it up. Near side linesman wasn't looking for it. I think the Jayhawks finally caught a break there with no icing called. As they're about to hit the inside of the 3-minute mark, inside the 17-minute mark. Played 3 minutes in the first period. Up top at the point, it's Jansen. Jansen shot on through some traffic. Couldn't get all the way to the net of Ben Olsen. Olsen reaches out to his left. Dordt, they score the first goal of the night off the stick of Rylan Veenstra, his team leading 23rd goal of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we can see already this is going to be a fast, physical game. I think the Jayhawks really need to be playing the top of their game, as we can see from here. But it's still early. We got time. I mean, the Jayhawks, we've been playing as strong and as physical as we need to be, but we just need to keep on working better.
So who else but Rylan Veenstra to get the party started for these Dordt defenders? Gave him 23 goals on the year, 23 assists on the season, 46 points in total as Dordt is rolling early in this one. Puck played at the center red line by the Jayhawks. Lang brings it in cleanly to Vaughn. Vaughn shot, saved there by Nansen. Easy glove save for the young man. 2 shots on goal for KU. 2 shots on goal for Dordt, 1 for KU, as KU's going to get an offensive zone face-off to the left of Nansen. It'll be the 4th line out for the Jayhawks. Lamb taking the face-off for KU. Bart for Dordt, and Bart wins that one with ease. Cross-ice pass there off the stick of Loken. Couldn't get it through as the Jayhawks carried it in now. Here's a shot by KU. Big hit put on there. Dordt man ends up falling down, though. Roberts up at the point. Now Hearn shot. Couldn't get through. Blocked by Loken as Dordt looks to leave the zone. For our board, this is Carroll's. Carroll's pass/shot. Kind of looked like a little bit of both. Goes behind the net above the crossbar of Olsen. This puck goes down the length of the ice. Skated there by Loken. Woollerton puts a hit on Loken. Loken able to get it away. Lang now with it. Lang, that one didn't go through. Went off to skate of Benson. Prasklis picks it up. Near half wall, it's his Horniman. Excuse me. That one, though, goes out to neutral ice. It's going to be Wage to dump it in behind the net of Olsen. Olsen goes to stop it for Woolington. Woolington scoops it up now, gives it to Vaughn. Vaughn to Lang. Lang now over to Bullard along the far side. Behind the net, Lake to Cisco's. Jayhawks on the forecheck. Jayhawks will turn it over again. Something Andy McConnell said he hasn't been looking. He's not trying to see too many turnovers on the forecheck. He saw one there. This puck tipped up by Horniman, but getting to that one was Vaughn as he sends it deep. Jayhawks battling along the far boards for possession. So Dordt off to a fast early start. First goal of this game coming only a few minutes in off the stick of Rylan Veenstra. Something that head coach Tyler Morgan for the defenders has been looking for. Has been faster starts, and man, he got his wishes answered there in a hurry. Vaughn backhands that one out of the zone. Tries to send it for the captain, Brett Siddons. Siddons couldn't get to it though, so picking this one up is Veenstra on the forehand. Veenstra to Wage. Wage wraps it around, again stopped by Olsen with his right hand. With his right arm, excuse me. Espenson will ream that one around. Ignachev to pick it up. Ignachev will saucer that one down the length of the ice, and this will be good enough for an icing against the Jayhawks. 14-14 remaining in the first period. Looks like the scoreboard took off that first shot on goal of the game for the Jayhawks. That glove hand save by Nansen. I was thinking that would be a good call too. Take that one, take that shot on goal away. It looks like Nansen saved it to the left of his post. It wasn't going to go on net. Had no chance of going in the net, I should say, uninterrupted. So it'll be no shot on goal. Jayhawks still searching for their first shot on goal tonight. That one saucered in by Torlina, and that'll be an icing against Dordt. The Jayhawks will get another offensive zone face-off tonight. This time coming to the right side of Nansen. It's the Jayhawks' third line out. Huber to take it for KU. Doreno for Dordt. Huber wins that one initially. Now up high at the point to Breyer. Breyer lost possession of it, so he'll end up sending it behind the net of Nansen. Nansen playing post to post. Huber up top. Tries to find Callaghan along the point, or excuse me, along the high slot. Callaghan lost control, so you'll have to send it around the boards. Huber gets shoved off the puck, so Aiden Siddons comes to pick it up. Siddons loses it, and it is Doreno. Beg your pardon, Veenstra with it, who already has a goal tonight. Veenstra lost it, so the Jayhawks send it down, and no icing here. They're going to deem a win off the stick of a Dordt defender. Jansen gets shoved by Aiden Siddons, but able to get that one out is fellow teammate Levi Loken. Dort's 2-on-1 shot, save by Olsen. Shot coming courtesy of Isaac Bart. Ben Olsen kicking out that right leg pad almost too much. Bart almost snuck that one 5-hole. Nice job though by Ben Olsen to recognize that shot last second. Face off to the left of Olsen here. So the linesman is talking to the Dordt right winger, Loken. That faceoff comes out to Loken off the draw there. Shot by Tyler Welsh goes well and above and to the right of the crossbar of Olsen. Dangerous pass there in the slot behind the net of Olsen, but nobody home for Dordt to knock it in. Around the boards, this comes down low, playing it, it's Bart. Isaac Bart staying there behind the net of Olsen. You see Tyler Morgan's strategy on offense here, keeping a man behind the net, trying to feed guys at either dot or somewhere in the low slot on the doorstep. Up top at the point, Welsh. Welsh shot on. Bart trying to tip that one in there, but plants himself. Defense back there was Hearn, and Hearn gets rewarded. He gets to try to send this one out. He can't though. Instead, sending it the other way was Welsh in front of his screen by Bart. Nobody picking up Isaac Bart there. No Jayhawks picking him up. He's been able to freely roam in front of the net. There was another shot there. Bart could have tipped that one in, but went just way to his right. Jayhawks still can't clear out. Dort's going for a line change on defense as finally KU is able to clear out. And it's Benson sending that one in deep. Dordt finally able to touch up. Jayhawks headman pass there for Lang. They couldn't connect. Along the left wing boards now. Slicing on in there is Specker. Specker shot saved by Olsen. Rebound opportunity covered up by Ben Olsen. As Ben has been facing an onslaught from these Dordt defenders. You'll think this team is all about defense based on their team's mascot, but oh no, they got way more than defense, as evidenced by that 31-0 thrashing of Lewis 2 weeks ago to the day. Face-off won by KU momentarily along the near half wall. Battled for by Dordt. Wearing their black and yellow up top and bottom. Black helmets. KU with the red bottoms, white jerseys, and white helmets. Behind the net. Puck in front of the net of Olsen. Cleared out by KU as KU looks to make something happen on offense. It's Rowan Vaughn, the left winger. Vaughn up to Lang. Lang couldn't get enough on that one as he got his stick lifted there momentarily by Wage. Near ball backhanding that out is Horniman. And picking up is Malcolm Johnson back skating. Nessa, the assistant captain for the Jayhawks, will send this one deep. It was off the stick, though, of Rowan Vaughn, so icing going to be waved off. Vaughn was in front of the center red line when that happened. Around the boards, behind his own net, comes Espenson. Sends that one up. Jayhawks send it right back, and they turn it over. Now it's Zach Espenson with it. Zach enters cleanly, right-handed shot along the left side. Misses above the crossbar. No icing here. Ives to race for it with Wage. Wage misses. Ives with it. Low slot opportunity there for Siddons. Siddons could get a stuck on it. Shot there by Breyer off the right leg pad of Nansen. Feeney now will shovel it down to Ives. Ives up to Breyer. Trying to keep it in there. Travis Breyer. Look at Breyer go. Loses it, though, to Espenson. Espenson headbands it to Dolman. Dolman shot off the skate of a Jayhawk as KU looks to come the other way. Big collision there. Incidental contact, of course, though. Doorstep opportunity for Veenstra as Ben Olsen turns it away. Headman pass for Harry Ives. Ives couldn't get a stick on it. Icing waved off, though, for the Jayhawks. Ives had a nice opportunity there. Look at this back and forth play we got going now. Bart shot saved there by the glove of Olsen. And boy, a much-needed stop in play for, frankly, both these teams.
Yeah, like I said earlier, this is going to be one physical game, and we've seen it already, some huge hits.
Face-off to the right of Olsen as we're under halfway through this first period of play alongside Gavin Box. I'm Ryan Cartman, bringing you the first of two between these two matches, Silver West foes. In front of the net of Olsen was Loken. Olsen covered up the 5-hole. Now this puck finds its way on the near walls. Huber up to Aiden Siddons. The Jayhawks enter fast. Siddons shot. Save by Nansen. As there's a little skirmish in front of the net. Nansen pushed on Callaghan there as our referees blow the whistles and say, boys, let's keep playing some fast, hard hockey because, boy, that has been the theme of this game so far. 6 shots on goal for Dordt. 2 for KU. Rylan Veenstra got the scoring started early for Dordt. A few minutes in, his team leading 23rd goal of the season. And boy, talking to head coach Tyler Morgan before the game about Rylan, he is a hockey nerd. He said that verbatim, quote, quote. There's a shot there by Callaghan, the doorstep, or excuse me, in the low slot. Couldn't get all of a stick on it, though, so kind of squirted out to the point as this puck's played in neutral ice. Trying to glove it down there was a Dordt defender, but they couldn't as now KU sends this one deep. But talking to Coach Morgan before the game, Veenstra, hockey nerd, high IQ. He is obsessed with the game, as Coach Morgan says, and he just loves playing hockey. Hit there, put on by Horniman against Siddons. Dordt able to send that one below the net of Olsen. Able to pick that up are the defenders. See if they can make something happen. Center ice pass intended for Benson just in front of his stick. In neutral ice, it's Welsh now, the defender from the dot. Shot wide, goes through the crease. Sending that one in now at the dot. Hearn's able to scoop it up as he'll send it headman for Huber. Jayhawks second line goes to work, or third line, beg your pardon. Trying to stretch it across the ice there to Vaughn was Huber, but Vaughn just couldn't get there in time as a Horniman to pick it up. Horniman to Benson. Benson tips it back to Horniman, and Horniman will send it into the KU zone off a tip. Icing waved off. Nessa picks it off, though. Easily won there by Dordt. Benson dangles around one. Benson on his backhand. Back to Benson up top at the point. Benson tries to shovel it on the backhand, can't. Now here's a shot there in the high slot by Veenstra. Veenstra, though, got saved. As now this puck finds its way back to Veenstra in the Jayhawks offensive zone. Now skating down Main Street. This is Espenson. Espenson shot off the leg pad, beg your pardon, of Olsen. Shot from an odd angle there, coming off the stick of Veenstra. But if anybody can make those shots, it's Rylan Veenstra. Backhand opportunity there on the stick of Dolman, but able to get it off his stick was Johnson, as Johnson sends that one now below the net of Nansen. Near ball, Ignatchev, the third pairing of defense out for KU. As a little knuckle puck there on the net of Nansen. He's able to cover up easily, as we'll have another stoppage, this time the face-off coming in the Jayhawks offensive zone. Very quick game so far tonight, Gavin.
Yes, it has been.
$7:11 to go in this first period. 8 shots on goal for Dordt, 3 for KU. Dordt making the most of their attempts. They're 1 for 8. That puck almost finds its way in the bench. Instead of crossed ice to Carroll's. Carroll shot saved by Olsen. Carroll's had a point blank right there on Ben Olsen. Shot it right into his stomach, and Olsen able to cover up that rebound opportunity. Face off to the right of Ben, won by Dordt. Awkward bounce, rebound opportunity, and Dordt cashes it home. Puck went off of the left goalpost of Olsen, and putting that one in the back of the net off of a tip there was Isaac Bart. His 10th goal of the season doubles up the Dordt lead. It was just chaos in front of the net of Olsen. It was a shot coming from the point, and chaos after that off the post of Olsen. Olsen had to go out of his crease to try to get the rebound, but instead he went a little too far out. Isaac Bart saw an opportunity and just poked at that puck, as he now has double-digit goals on the campaign. Clearing there by Dordt goes off the pad of Olsen, so no icing here. As rebound opportunity off a shot. Wide open net in the high slot for Dordt defenders to look at, but nobody home for Dordt as the Jayhawks now enter the zone. Shot by Ives off of a block there by Benson, up high now. Shot by Roberts. I think it hit somebody on the way in, and it goes to the side of the net of Nansen. Now Brett Siddons, the captain. Siddons back in. He scores! Brett Siddons answers back. His 6th goal of the season cuts the Dordt lead in half.
Yeah, what a goal that just happened there. Looked like he was going to pass it back out to the blue line, but then just snuck it right in past the goalie. What more can you ask for?
Oh, captain, my captain, Brett Siddons answers the goal of Isaac Bart to give the Jayhawks some confidence in this one, as boy, Tim Nansen's looked like a brick wall. But Brett Siddons able to undress him there. Nansen only a 2nd goal, folks, giving up in the season. I mean, this is not an easy goaltender to score on by any means. And Brett Siddons able to crack the case there. Has the Jayhawks now down by 1. Zach Espenson. Big hit put on them there by Siddons. Both of the men go down as play resumes with no whistles, as dumping that puck in was Hearn. Huber trying to pick it up, couldn't. Instead, it's going to be Preston Wage. Down low to Dolman. Dolman will go around the net, try to find somebody to pass to. Pass goes through the crease as Olsen poke checks that one. Almost looked like to be off his blocker maybe into the far corner. Now this puck finds its way into the near half wall. Hearn up to Huber. Jayhawks caught the Dordt defenders on a quick little change. See if they can make anything of it. They cannot as Dordt gets to that one. Nice play by the sticks of these Dordt defenders. Skating down now is Preston Wage. He works around one Jayhawk. He stops on a dime. Nesta able to get it. Wage didn't know where it's at. Wage lost sight of it for a second, thinking Nesta would take it behind his own net. He doesn't. Instead, it's Nesta with it. 2-on-1 with Huber if they hurry. Huber with it. Huber, pass goes through the crease. Aiden Siddons was up in the high slot, not on the doorstep for the Jayhawks, unfortunately. Hit put on there against the defender. Here comes Carroll's racing on the ice. Carroll's shot backhanded. And Olsen's able to block that one as it goes behind his net. And now to neutralize. Delayed penalty against the Jayhawks. Nansen goes to the bench. Dordt is 6-on-5 until KU can touch up. Dordt will take their time with this one. Instead, KU able to touch up very quickly. They're looking for a cross-ice pass to Levi Loken. And it's going to be Hudson Huber going to sit. Huber not happy with the call. It's going to be an interference, I'm pretty sure they called it. It was either an interference or a slash. Couldn't hear the call that they made, folks.
It sounded to me like it was a call for roughing.
If it was roughing, that doesn't, looking back at the replay, and it looks almost looks like a boarding call that the ref made. I don't know, but either way, Jayhawks find themselves back on the penalty kill yet again this season. One of their strong suits of the year. The Dordt, one of their strong suits has in the power play, but here comes the Jayhawks exiting shorthanded. Feeney around one. Feeney low slot shot, trying to find a 5-hole. Nansen able to cover up as Dordt goes the other way. Shot by the defenders off the glove of Olsen up and around the glass. Jayhawks clear this one down the length of the ice. 1:27 to go on the power play opportunity for Dordt. Cross ice Horniman. Horniman protects the puck on his right hand side. Horniman now behind the net. 3.5 to go in the first period to play. Chipping away at it. That is Hearn. Able to clear that one out now is KU down the length of the ice. Minute left on the power play opportunity for the defenders. Espenson, cross ice. Welsh now, the defender for these Dordt defenders. Get a little tongue-tied there. Lang battling with Welsh and Horniman. Horniman comes away with it. Shot there, point blank. They score! Dordt on the power play, courtesy of Tyler Welsh. His 5th goal of the season, 4th power play goal of the season. Gives Dordt a 2-goal lead yet again.
Yeah, like I said, with these physical teams, the Jayhawks need to make sure to stay out of the box. The penalty kill for the Jayhawks has been pretty good, but with times like these, we need to be making sure that we stay out of the box as much as possible.
Penalties shooting the Jayhawks in the foot yet again as they find themselves down 2 with 2:50 remaining in this first period. Dordt, boy, they look dominant all period minus that Jayhawk goal courtesy of Brett Siddons. Headman to Bullard. Bullard through his legs to Vaughn. Vaughn with it now. What a nice play by Bullard. Vaughn loses control of it to Welsh. Far corner now. Welsh pushes down Lang, and we're going to have a penalty called here. It's going to be a hook assessed to Tristan Schlechter as the Jayhawks will find themselves on the power play for the first time tonight. Jayhawks power play has been the best it has been all season, as we have seen, and Andy McConnell said it too, as the Jayhawks badly need a conversion here to get themselves back within 1. As now both our refs are going to be talking, it looks like. Look at the scoreboard. I think they're going to try to get it reset back to 2 minutes on the power play. It'll be 2:26 on the game clock. Reads 2:25 right now, and 1:59 on the power play. And no, they're just going to let it sit at 2:25, so Jayhawks will be lost a second on this power play as Dordt immediately wins that face-off. Racing down quickly is Carrolls. Carrolls racing, backhand, trying to find the 5-hole, and Olsen can't. Boy, these Dordt skaters, Mason Carrolls especially, he is speedy out there. Vaughn, forward on the backhand, pushed up against the boards by Jansen. So we have a puck battle along the far boards now. Both teams vying for it with the Jayhawks on the power play. Behind the net, Torlina, he tries to shovel this one out. Lang able to keep it in, down on a knee. This is a Jayhawks power play, folks. Both units all forwards. Vaughn up high at the point. Brett Siddons now the lone goal scorer tonight so far for the Hawks. Stick lifted there. Up top, Vaughn slap shot off the body of Torlina as he gets that one out. Parasklis with it. He tries to kill some time there in the corner. Big hit put on him there by Jayhawk. 1 minute remaining on the power play for KU. Huber now races in, far side. Huber around the boards. Off the backboards to Lang. Lang back to Huber. Huber tried to go up top to Vaughn off the skates, so Callaghan. Callaghan had it in the low slot, but pushed off by Dordt defender. 1:06 remaining now in the period. 38 seconds on the minor hooking called to Schlechter. Minute remaining now in the period. Espenson with it, loses control. Killing that one down on the backhand is Wage. Far corner, Nessa. Nessa to Huber at 19 seconds on the power play for KU. Johnson enters, the defenseman for the Jayhawks. Johnson floats that one in, glove down by Espenson. Trying to get that out. There was Dordt. They can't. Not enough muster on that one. Slap shot. One-time opportunity for Aiden Siddons. Wide open net to look at for the young man. Just couldn't get that one on the stick. Penalty expires to Schlechter. He races out and back to the bench. 20 seconds left in the first period. Huber now on his right-hand side. On his backhand side, excuse me, with his right hand, trying to protect the puck. 10 seconds to go. Siddons tries to get a slapper off there. That puck was bouncing too much, though. Can't do nothing about that one. Espenson with it. Saved by Olsen. Kicks it to the near corner. 1 second remaining in the period. And that'll do it for the first period of play. Boy, Aiden Siddons looked like he could make this a one-goal game heading into the first intermission with a nice pass there to him, but just couldn't get a stick on that one. And you know he'll regret not putting that one in the back of the net as he looks up there, looks disappointed not being able to put a stick on that one. Well, it's 15 shots on goal for Dordt, 5 for the Jayhawks as Dordt will take a 3-1 lead into the first intermission. Boy, Dordt, a dominant first period, minus a goal given up to Brett Siddons, as he'll be more than happy with the way they started out this game. So make sure to keep it right here on the KU Hockey YouTube channel. We enter the first intermission. KU looking to scrape down 2. Back inside Ivanhoe Sports Park at Blue Hawk for the start of the second period. It is the Dordt defenders up 3-1 over the Kansas Jayhawks. Alongside Gavin Box, I'm Ryan Cartman. It's the first of two games between these Matcha Silver West opponents, and it's some all-important Matcha points to win for Dordt. They control their own destiny. Win out, and you are well on your way to going to the Matcha tournament. For the Jayhawks, they need some help. They need to win both these games this weekend against Dordt to even give themselves a fighting chance in the Matcha tournament. And so far, Jayhawks right now, of course, down 2 goals. Only 5 shots on goal for them, 15 for Dordt. Gavin, what have you been seeing out there?
Yeah, it's been a stronger start for the Jayhawks than the scoreboard would show. There's been a lot of time in the offensive zone, but they just not connecting on the passes leads to a lot of takeaways.
As we're ready to drop the puck for the start of the second period, Jayhawks with this next 20 on fresh ice. See if they can break this back and do a better game for their part. I lost my train of thought there for a second, folks, but we're ready to go. Jayhawks ready to go. I'll get ready to go. Tip in front of the net by Rowan Vaughn, goes wide to the right of Nansen. Near half wall, it's Vaughn. Vaughn shot through traffic, went off the skate of Zach Espenson and now in neutral ice. Roberts tries to send it around the boards. Blocked by Dolman as this puck's battled for possession in neutral ice. Coming away with it is Wage. Wage through one. Couldn't get through Zach Roberts as it's Espenson. Nick Espenson sending it around. Again, Nick and Zach Espenson both out here on this team for the defenders. Up high to the point there, just trying to find Preston Wage. The board coming away with it. So now Rowan Vaughn races forward with Zach Espenson. Zach Espenson sends it up to Nick Espenson. Hearn comes away with it, able to keep it in along the blue line. He'll send it on the net of Nansen. And streaking in there was Vaughn. So Nansen will smartly decide to cover up as we have a first whistle of the second period of play. Face-off infraction there. Our back line's been called, so we'll redo it to the right of Nansen. 18:51 to go in the period. Shot off the draw, goes off a body, as now a dangerous pass finds itself in front of the net of Nansen. From the high slot, rebound opportunity for Brett Siddons. He sends it wide of the net. Had a high glove side to look at, but couldn't elevate it and couldn't get it on net. Shot there, wristed by Luke Nessa, wicked wrister there, as Nance is able to cover that one up. Dordt goes for a line change. It'll be Siddons and Praxlis to take the face off. Siddons wins it off draw, shot there. Nansen kicks it to the right side. Shot again, this from a time from odd angles. Nansen able to save that one, and coming out with it is Drake. Looked to forecheck it, but Olsen will instead scoop that one up like a ground ball, as it's all when Dordt wanted. They wanted to work on the forecheck, but they'll take an offensive zone face-off if it has to come to that. As the Jayhawks now change all 5 skaters on the ice. Third line out for KU. It's Huber to take it with Praxlis. I have to keep reminding myself how to say Connor Praxlis' name. Behind the net, Spector. Shot there, point blank by Horniman, turned away by Olsen. Puck dumped in there from the point. Goes above the crossbar, trying to high stick it down there was Specker. Specker goes behind the net, tries to wrap it around. Staying strong there with the left leg was Olsen. Might have get away with the cross check there was Malcolm Johnson on Specker, but the ref didn't see it as we play on. Specker tried to put it on net, goes off of Jayhawk as it's Callaghan who looks to enter the zone with Siddons. Callaghan will dump it in off the wall. Callaghan battles for it with a couple of defenders getting in there as well as Huber. Huber's able to win it. Huber tries to find sit-ins on the high slot, but intercepting that one is Dordt. Here they come the other way along the left wing side. This is Espenson. Espenson tries to tuck it in, can't. He'll instead keep the puck. Dolman with it, works around Breyer, up top to the point. Shot from the point, tipped, and into the netting, off the stick of Nick Espenson, as it'll be a face-off to come in front of the net of Ben Olsen. "16 shots on goal for Dordt, 10 for Kansas." Face off to the left of the net of Ben Olsen, as he kicked out of the circle there was Ryland Veenstra. Didn't even make a move. Must have been something he said or something he didn't agree with. I don't know. Shot there, didn't touch anybody. Rebound opportunity. They score. Off the right leg pad of Ben Olsen, getting that one in the back of the net. The freshman Tegan Dolan, his 11th goal of the season, said, "Look what I found, Mom." Picked that one up, put it in the back of a wide open 4x6, as Dordt now opens this game up to a 3-goal lead. Tegan Dolman, his 11th goal of the season, 23rd point. Now makes it a 3-goal deficit for the Jayhawks to scrap their way out of. And boy, it's going to be tough against this mighty Dordt team. Rebound just went off the right leg pad there of Olsen. And it was a wide open, like I said, 4x6 for Tegan Dolman to look into. Malcolm Johnson near corner. He clears it down the length of the ice. As icing will be waved off here. They're going to say Mike Torlina was a little close to that puck. Easy to make a play on that for him. Neutral ice. Puck played by Bart. Bart gets pushed off the puck by Johnson. Tries to get a shot off, but it goes off the stick of Malcolm. And now behind to the left of the net of Olsen. Off the sideboards. Big hit put on there against Nick Woollington by Carrolls. Carrolls, he's speedy, but he's also physical as well. Puck played by the scorer's table, and it goes by the net of Olsen. Finds the stick of Nesta. Nesta to Woollington. Woollington cross ice, though. Gets tipped off the stick of Veenstra. Offside's waved off there. Veenstra entered cleanly. Veenstra in off the blocker side of Olsen and up into the glass. Benson will scoop that one behind the net now. Played by Espenson. Espenson shot there by Dolman as he has his second goal of the period, back-to-back within the span of a minute. This opens up now a 4-goal lead for Dordt.
Yeah, that was just a simple deflection. Goalie couldn't see it coming. Not much you can really do there.
So Tegan Dolman tallies his 11th and 12th goal of the season, as it was a cross-ice pass. Put it right on the stick of Dolman, as no Jayhawk defender could get in the middle of that pass. Losing his stick down is Ben Olsen. Ben Olsen, the goalie, stickless for KU. Finally goes to retrieve it as the Jayhawks get the puck in the neutral ice. Ignatichev, Bullard, back to Ignatichev. Jayhawks down 4. They entered the period down 2, now find themselves down 4. We're only just crossing the 5-minute mark of the second period. Espenson, far half wall now, played by Ives. Ives out to Lang. Lang cross ice, Ignatichev now finds it on his tape. Rebound opportunity in front of the net. Nansen, what a save by the young man on the doorstep. It was Bullard. Delayed penalty now. Shot there by Specker. Goes wide. Penalty here going to be called against the Jayhawks. And the Jayhawks there weren't afraid to get a little aggressive there with the hook against Specker. She was going in. Ignatichev with the penalty. He kind of hooked hooked Specker on the way in there on that partial breakaway opportunity, but he already had a hooking coming against him, so he thought might as well try to save a goal if it's a delayed penalty. So Dordt's power play yet again on the ice. They're already 1 for 1 on the night. Espenson. Back to Zach Espenson, now near corner. Levi Loken tries to get it, can't. Able to keep it in though. Zach Espenson losing it at his feet there. Where it's Dordt for a second. This puck now finds its way into the near boards. Far side keeping it in, dancing along the blue line was the defenders. Cross ice there as Dordt's playing a little tic-tac-toe. Boy, they are so good at moving this puck on the power play. Jayhawks shorthanded aren't bad this year either. It's here they come. Feeney, far boards, tries to chase that puck down, can't. Dordt tried to exit for a second, lost it at their feet, still losing it. Jayhawks penalty kill, putting a little pressure on as Dordt finally able to set up an entry, it looks like. Able to keep it in there, onside there. Keeping his skate back was Horniman. I thought he was offside, but either way, here comes the Jayhawks 2-0 if they hurry. Vaughn, cross ice. On the back doorstep there was Lang. Couldn't get a stick on it. That's the second time tonight for the Jayhawks. They haven't been able to put a stick on a goal on the back doorstep. Shot there from up high. Saved by Olsen. As we have a whistle, 44 seconds left to go on the power play for Dordt. It's Ignatichev sitting for a minor hooking. Face off to the left of Olsen. Huber and Dolman going at it. Dolman wins it. The most recent two goals, for Dordt scored by him. Shot from the point by Benson goes off some traffic and in the near corner as it's battled for now. Able to send that one down length of the ice. Almost hit Benson in the head. Almost our linesman too. As Nansen leaves it for Benson. Benson retrieves it. Now up to Welsh. Welsh cross ice to Dolman. Dolman enters cleanly. Dolman will circle behind the net of Ben Olsen, looking to find an opportunity with 10 seconds to go on the power play. Carroll's shot goes wide around the boards, and that'll do it for the Dordt power play. That's Jayhawks 1 for 2 on the kill tonight. Ignatichev goes straight to the bench, and it's Callaghan coming on for the Jayhawks. Callaghan tried to keep that one in there, couldn't. It goes back to Malcolm Johnson. Johnson headman up to Huber. Able to fight it off, though, was Welsh. But the Jayhawks find it back on their tape. Trying to exit, though, was the Jayhawks, who went off a Dordt defender, played by Dolman, and just bad place, bad timing for Isaac Barnes. He was well in the Jayhawk offensive zone. Easy offsides called there for our officials. Not too many penalties called tonight. Cleaner game than we've seen this year for a Jayhawk game. Jayhawks are still, of course, with 2 penalties of their own tonight. As a shot off the draw there from neutral ice, saved easily by Olsen. It's been a very fast-paced game. Not too many whistles to account for, specifically in that first period. Dump in there off the glass. Far corner now, behind the net, trying to put it in a low slot on the doorstep was Bart. Said he got pushed off it. Now it's in the near corner. Jansen on the backhand. Bart tries to find Jansen yet again on the backhand. Couldn't. Well, that was Schlechter, beg your pardon, not Jansen. Off the skates, it's Callaghan. Callaghan and Aiden Siddons, 2-on-1 at the hurry. Callaghan shot off the stick of Jansen up into the netting. Out of play behind of the net of Nansen. The Jayhawks just trying to find any offense possible right now. Talking with Andy McConnell before the game. He's stuck with these lines since Indiana, and he says barring anything unforeseen, he plans to stick with the lines he has slated for tonight, and he has so far, as it's counted for one Jayhawk goal. The only problem is Dordt's got 5 of their own up on the scoreboard. Opportunity for Ibes there. Couldn't get enough on that shot. Yet again, Jayhawks just not getting a lot on these shots in front of the net of Tim Nansen. Stick breaks for Zach Roberts. He, the defenseman, is left stickless. Near half wall, Feeney loses it to Specker. Specker wraps it around now. Loses it for a second, regains control, but loses a tire there, blows out a tire as the Jayhawks send this one down the length of the ice, as it'll be good enough for an icing. As the remnants of Zach Roberts' sticker picked up by a referee, he misses it, has to circle around. Dangerous there for a KU, a defenseman without a stick. Alongside Gavin Box, I'm Ryan Cartman, bringing you the first of 2 games here from Avenel Sports Park at Blue Rock. A chilly day in Overland Park. It's going to be even a chillier night when we walk out these doors as the Jayhawks looking to rock their way around the Christmas tree against the Dordt defenders. Right now, Dordt having their way around the Christmas tree this game as we're approaching the halfway point in this one. Able to keep that in there? No, not able to keep that in was Tyler Welsh, as Dordt has to touch up, gives the Jayhawks enough time to set up a clearance. Lang cross ice to Feeney. Feeney tries to center it to Ives. Ives couldn't get to it. Instead, it's left for the Dordt defenders. Entering is Veenstra. He has a goal tonight. Veenstra works around one. Oh my goodness. Doorstep opportunity on the rebound. Andrew Benson, the captain, couldn't cash it in for Dordt. And Rylan Veenstra working around these Jayhawk defenders like knife going through some warm butter. Vaughn with it. Vaughn shot off the stick of a defender up and into the netting behind the net of Nansen. We have a whistle as this faceoff will find its way to the right of the net of Nansen. Winning it is Lang for KU. Nessa up top at the point. Nessa's shot couldn't get through traffic. It's at the near boards now. Vaughn with it on the stick momentarily as he had to get a shot off as there was a few Dordt defenders swarming his hive. Behind the net, Johnson battles for it with Carrolls. Johnson wins it momentarily. Bowler able to try to shovel it out. Lang whiffs on it. Bowler tries to get it. Can't. Carroll's shot. Not able to corral that one was Olsen. Left up a rebound for Dordt. They almost took advantage of it, but the Jayhawks now with it after a Dordt turnover. Shot there. Not able to get that rebound was Nansen, and he almost gave up a goal because of not getting a rebound. That puck goes off the padding next to the glass of the bench of KU as it didn't go in, so no whistle there. Calling for the puck is Lang. Lang well, they tried to give it to him, and he couldn't get it. As Lang argues he couldn't get it because it went off the stick of a defender. Icing called here as Matthew Lang voicing his displeasure with the linesman. He's got to be careful here to not give himself a penalty. Lang very much insisting it went off a defender as he shakes his head at the linesman who didn't call it as he drops the puck. And that's impossible to tell from way up here, especially because we don't have any instant replay as well with 7 or 8 camera angles that these NHL and college rinks have, so we'll just have to go with our linesman's call. You would assume, though, Matthew Lang probably had to give him the benefit of the doubt. If it had to be something that obvious, but again, either way, I can't comment on anything that's too difficult for us to see way up here. Shot there from the point, kicked aside by Olsen. As the Jayhawks can't clear the zone, Breyer now with it. Breyer just gives it right to a Dordt defender. Shot tipped in front by Speckers. The rebound goes to the far wall as the puck finds its way to neutral ice. Jayhawks, not much offensive zone time. Here it is, though. Sit-ins. Near corner. Thought he could have a breakaway opportunity, but puck just squirted too fast into the near corner. Breyer couldn't get anything on that shot as he'll get a second opportunity to dump it in on his backhand. 8 minutes to go in the second period. The defenders from Dordt in Sioux Center, Iowa, up on the Jayhawks 5-1 in this one. Wanted to say Sioux City for a second, but I am pretty sure it is Sioux Center. I'll get a check on that in a second. Shot there by Tyler Wells. Shot of some traffic in front of the net of Olsen. Dordt, though, still with it. Trying to wrap it around is Huberman. Rebound opportunity in front of the net of Olsen. He's able to cover up as down goes Horniman. Excuse me, not Huberman. Horniman, as we have a little ruckus in front of the net of Olsen. Getting pushed aside there was Aiden Siddons as his arms went failing. No penalties are going to be called here. Refs are just going to let this one play on. It is Sioux Center, Iowa. I thought I had that one right. I had to double check there. As Apple Maps helping me out with that one. About a 5-hour drive for these defenders, most of it just down I-29. Up high at the point, Welsh shot, couldn't get through traffic. Another shot on net, able to save that one is Olsen. .7:13 remaining in the second period. Face-off will come to the left of the net of Ben Olsen. And boy, Dordt dominant in every aspect of the game. Only thing the Jayhawks have going is, well, they've had a couple good opportunities in both periods on the doorstep of the net of Nansen. They just couldn't cash it in. Jayhawks, I guess, also had a nice penalty kill as well against a smoking hot Dordt power play. High slot shot, kicked aside by Olsen. That shot coming courtesy of Mason Carrolls. Boy, that thing was a zinger. 29 shots on goal for Dordt, 12 for the Jayhawks. As you can say, that tells you a lot about how this game has been going. Shot by Carrolls off of the body of Zach Roberts up and into the netting. Face-off will come to the right of the net of the netminder Olsen. Face-off one. Off the draw, it is Jansen. Jansen shot off the post as our referee waves that one off. Jansen almost had himself his 5th goal of the season, as now there's a little talking going on behind the net of Tim Nansen. But boy, oh boy, was Christopher Jansen, excuse me, so close to getting his 5th goal of the season. Jansen, a sophomore out of Rosedale, British Columbia. The defenseman for these defenders. Lang battles for it with a couple of gentlemen in black and yellow jerseys, but Dordt able to come away with it, but Roberts with it now. Roberts, Hearn. Hearn tries to hem in to Vaughn. Vaughn couldn't get a stick in it, so it'll be icing against KU. Linesman looking at something on the scoreboard. As now ready to drop the puck. As face-off shot, Jared Matthew Lang just said, hey, I'm just going to box out Rylan Veenstra. As Jayhawks got to it, delayed offsides here against Dordt. As that puck squeaked out of the zone. Roberts tried to get it cross-ice to his defensive partner in Blake Hearn, but went off a Dordt skate as it ruined that play. And it was delayed offsides called against defenders. Not seeing the call was Rylan Veenstra, excuse me, as he touched that puck. And that's an easy offsides call for our linesman to make. Face off and neutral ice after the offsides, won by the Jayhawks. Jayhawks have won their fair share of face-offs, it seems, these last few minutes or so. Saucer there, high stick waved off as it went off the stick of a Jayhawk. Entering cleanly this time is Dordt. It's Specker to Horniman, back to Specker. Specker tripped up by Huber, I think it was incidental contact there as both men were falling down already. Tyler Welsh up the boards to Specker. Specker feeds it to Horniman. Off the blocker of Olsen. Rebound opportunity there for Specker momentarily, but couldn't get a stick on it. Welsh now back to Benson. Benson there, fought off by Callaghan. Aiden Simmons picks it up along the near half wall. Callaghan, shot there in front of the net. Wide open net to look at there for the Jayhawks, but couldn't cash it in yet again. Went above the crossbar. Jayhawks have had quite a few good scoring opportunities, I think. If you look in the box score of this game, I guess they don't do scoring opportunities in the box score of ACHA games, but if this was an NHL game and you looked at the scoring opportunities that the Jayhawks had, they've had quite a few, probably enough to the point where this could be a 5-5 hockey game, but the Jayhawks just can't find it way to put the puck in the back of the net. The only person who's had success tonight for the Jayhawks has been the captain, Brett Siddons. Getting back on side there is Mason Carroll as Dordt defenders enter cleanly, and Carroll scores! Some extracurriculars going on after that goal by Mason Carroll, the senior out of Aberdeen, South Dakota. His 8th goal of the season. Now has Jayhawks trailing by 5 with 4:35 remaining in this second period.
Yeah, Ryan, there's a bit of a scuffle there after the goal by the Jayhawks.
Yeah, so getting tripped up there was Isaac Barr, and I think Dordt was looking for a penalty call. They didn't get one, but I think they'll be just as fine taking the goal off the stick of Mason Carroll's and give that 5 individual Dordt players who have scored a goal tonight. The lone 2-goal scorer, Tegan Dolman, the freshman out of Sioux Center, Iowa. Right where Dordt is. Another opportunity for Dordt. Carroll's almost with his second of the night coming back to back. Carroll's now doorstep off the blocker of Olsen behind his net. Jayhawks try to exit the zone. They do. Vaughn works around one. Jayhawks are 2-on-1. They hurry. Vaughn, Bullard. Vaughn to Bullard. Bullard tries to go 5-hole. Vaughn's shot saved yet again by Nansen. Jayhawks with some opportunities. Couldn't get it to go. Hearn high slot shot. Weird little floater on the net of Nansen, but able to save that one was the netminder for Dordt as they entered the zone. Carroll's could get on his stick. Had a nice opportunity to look up high into high slot as he nods his head in frustration. Jayhawks will dump this puck in as he goes behind the net of Nansen and around for Nick Espenson. Nick Espenson to Veenstra. Veenstra shot. Glove save by Olsen. Well, with the Jayhawks down by 5 in this one and no goal scored in over 20 minutes of play for the Jayhawks, they're going to be looking for a Christmas miracle these last 23 minutes and change to play, hoping that, hey, maybe Santa Claus is coming to town in Overland Park early. Forwards, Callaghan tries to get it out, can't. Dordt keeps it in. Shot off the stick of Espenson as Olsen's able to save 5-hole. 33 shots on goal for Dordt, 17 for the Jayhawks. Face off to the left of Olsen. Shot off the draw, off the skate in front of the net of Dolman. Dolman could have had his 3rd there off of his skate. That would have been a fun hat trick to have. Dolman tries to center it for Espenson. Instead, Dolman will keep it. Dolman off the boards, trying to find a way. Jayhawks will dump it into neutral ice. Wage up to Dorenos. He backhands it in. Johnson will backhand it along the walls to Callaghan. Callaghan tried to find Huber, couldn't. Taking out one instead was Specker. Near ball, Specker comes away with it. Specker trying to find Horniman into high slot. Couldn't as Callaghan comes away with it as he'll zing this one around the boards. Puck took a weird bounce along the stanchion, somehow finding its way into low slot, but no Jayhawk there to make that a dangerous opportunity as Dordt with it. They enter. Off of his stick, it was Doreno. Now in neutral ice, this puck lies for Wage. Wage chips it in along the far half wall. Specker to Horniman. Up high for Benson, saved by Olsen. A minute 48 to go.
Yeah,
as we're in the middle period to play.
Yeah, it seems throughout this entire game, the Jayhawks have just not been able to keep it outside of their zone. I think that's led to a lot of trouble for us. You know, not fresh skates, not being able to get a good line change in there.
Face off to the right of Olsen. Off the draw, shot by Benson, saved by the leg pad of the junior netminder for the Jayhawks. Slap shot for Benson. Rebound opportunity goes right back to him off the skate of Robertson, excuse me. Another shot there, wicked wrist by Carrolls, saved by the blocker of Olsen. As this puck now gets shot up and out of play into the netting. Face off will come to the left of the KU net. Man, Andrew Benson streaking down Main Street right there. Oh, nice slap shot by the young man. It was a nice save, though. Better save by Olsen. Far side, Luke Lamb had it for a second. Couldn't come up with it. Backhanded up by Locken over the net. Carrolls now. Carrolls high slot shot off the crossbar. Mason Carrolls looking for his second goal of the night. Couldn't keep the rebound opportunity there. Or I should say couldn't corral the rebound opportunity, beg your pardon, was Olsen. As with the shot on the doorstep there was Dordt. But Jayhawks able to clear it out. Dordt, though, gets right back in here. Puck in front of the net of Olsen. Scooped up by Feeney as Jayhawks look to go the other way. 45 seconds to go in the second period. Ives now, top of the circle. Ives around one. Ives backhands it to Feeney. Feeney back to Ives along the half wall. Ives just couldn't get his stick on that puck on that centering opportunity for Lang. As yet again, the Jayhawks just can't find a way to get anything on any of these passes or shots most of this game. Feeney up high to Johnson. Johnson shot. Saved by Olsen. Or, excuse me, wrong goaltender. Saved by Nansen. 17.1 to go in this one. And you know what? I don't think Nansen saw that shot. It didn't look like he saw that one. So go back to look at the replay. He was screened there. It looked like to be by his own teammate. And he was just lucky to get any piece of his body on that one. I don't know if it was going into the net. It could have gone blocker high. But lucky for Nansen, the 18th shot on goal he faces doesn't go in as it stays a 5-goal lead for Dordt. Getting kicked out of the zone is Matthew Lang as he expresses his displeasure with our linesman. Finally, the puck is dropped and won by Dordt. Up and into the netting. That clearing attempt goes by Preston Wage. 12.8 now remaining in the middle act to play. Face-off to the left of the netminder Nansen, won by Dordt and cleared in neutral ice. 7 seconds remaining in the period. Johnson protects it from the ever-present Schlechter. As time winds down on the second period, as Dordt, 3 goals they tack in the first period, another 3 they tack on in the second period. Jayhawks couldn't find an answer in its middle period of play, as it'll be Dordt entering the third period, entering the second intermission with a 5-goal lead on KU. Dordt just showing how good they are as they look to improve this win streak to 18 games in a row. Of course, you have to include that forfeit from 2 Saturdays ago, so take that as you want to. 17-game win streak, 18-game win streak. You know these Dordt defenders don't care how you draw it up. As we enter the second intermission, Dordt up 6-1 over the Jayhawks. 37 shots on goal for the defenders, 18 for KU. Keep it right here on the KU Hockey YouTube channel. Back inside Avon Sports Park for the start of the third period between the Jayhawks and the Dordt defenders. Dordt currently with a big 5-goal lead, courtesy of goals from 5 different goal scorers, including a 2-goal game from the freshman Tegan Dolman out of Sioux Center, Iowa, right where Dordt is located. Not a far commute at all, I bet, from his house. Back in Sioux Center as we're underway, as the puck is dropped for the third period. Winning the face-off is Dordt. Carrolls will put it behind the net of Olsen, and Hearn will try to do the honors to clear it. He can't. Shot for the point, tipped there by Carrolls, but Olsen able to save that one. Puck in neutral ice, won by Vaughn. Vaughn enters cleanly, shot, line drive save by Tim Nansen, who has stopped all but one of the 19 shots on goal he has had to face tonight. As Dordt is doubling up the Jayhawks on shots on goal, 38 for the defenders, 19 for KU. A major story of this game off the draw. Puck picked up and played by Torlina. Back to Torlina as he skates down Broadway. Torlina around one. Torlina tries to go on the backhand. Johnson though able to shove him off. Behind the net, this is Veenstra. Veenstra up high to the point, Torlina. Torlina cross ice over to Jansen. Jansen will chuck it down low for Dolman. Dolman pushed up against the boards by Johnson as they scrap for it. Coming away with it is Dordt. And down length of the ice, the Jayhawks, or excuse me, Dordt will send that puck. So obviously no icing called here. Come to speak of it, Mike Torlina, one of only one player from either Missouri or Kansas on this Dordt team. Torlina hails from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Right off of the interstates here on the Missouri side of I-470. Puck dangerously in front of the net, and it's saved, covered up by Olsen as both a Jayhawk and a defender go tussling down into the ice, and I think we're going to get a penalty out of this one. It's going to go against Ignatichev, and it's going to be a minor for roughing. Ignatichev sat earlier for a hook, and this time he gets a roughing call. Don't know how much he likes that call. Don't know how much I like that call either. Felt like it was just a couple of guys just battling for positioning, and the whistle happened to blow in. Down went the defender, but either way, it's going to be a power play opportunity for Dordt. High slot, shot there, saved off the stick of Espenson. Espenson back with it. Espenson tried to pass along the boards off the stick of Lang, able to pick it up is Loken. Loken back up to Espenson. Espenson cross ice for Veenstra. Veenstra center of the ice for Loken as Jayhawks send it down the length. I thought it was set to play it. Comes Nansen. He'll leave it for Zach Espenson. Zach Espenson skates into the Jayhawk offensive zone. Espenson shot, almost did it by himself. Rebound off the boards. Goes right in front of the net of Olsen. Well, lucky for Ben, no defender able to knock that one home. Nobody really in the zip code of that puck. Wearing a black and yellow jersey. Here's Dolman as we're going to have a penalty here. This one against Horniman. And I had my head down there for a second. Obviously, I saw Jayhawk went barreling into the net. Yeah, Horniman posted Jayhawk in the net. It looks like no penalty will be called. Instead, just goes, hey, the net was off its bearings. I'll beg your pardon on that one. Beg my pardon, excuse me. No penalty as I get my bearings set straight. So the net just went off its bearings. I'm just the only one going off my bearings here. So they just wanted a neutral zone face-off. So it's still going to be Dordt on the power play. Last puck played with the high stick here, and after the whistle, big hit there by a Jayhawk, put on the defender. Malcolm Johnson put that hit on, and that's an easy penalty to call after the whistle is blown, as Johnson's going to sit for a couple of minutes. And And I'll say one thing, when you look at Dordt, their ability just to keep their heads level. Very, very strong part of their game. Something Coach Tyler Morgan praised about his team. He says the thing his team does best is play an honest, tough, strong game and try not to get anything unnecessary. It's been the opposite of what the Jayhawks have been doing this season. Okay, so it's going to be a double minor against Malcolm Johnson. Don't know the exact penalty call. So it'll be Dordt 5-on-4 for 52 seconds. Or excuse me, Dordt 5-on-3 for 52 seconds. And then back to 5-on-4 for the remaining 3:08. Again, though, that's barring any Dordt goal scored here on the power play. Along the blue line, this puck's passed to Benson. Benson still with it now, down low behind the dot. Shot there by Carroll, saved by Olsen. Didn't have that one fully covered up, actually. Referee thought he had it in between his left elbow and left hip, and it came loose there, but the whistle was already blown. Face-off one to the left net of Olsen by Dordt. Shot off the draw. Deflected in front of the net by some traffic as KU able to send this one down the length. 28 seconds left on the minor rough to Ignatichev. Racing up the ice is Benson. Works around one, dumps it for Specker. Specker over to Carrolls. Carroll's high slot. Carroll's shot. Rebound opportunity for the defenders. It goes behind the net, actually. Does that defender. Now back up high. Carroll's shot there. Deflected in front of the net by Welsh. Coming off the penalty box is Ignatichev. Dordt 5-on-4 for the next 3:03. Courtesy of a double minor rough to Malcolm Johnson. They just made the penalty call over the PA system. I heard a roughing for one of the minors, so I wonder if another minor might have been something else. Don't know exactly, though. But one of them was definitely a rough as a shot there by Carrolls. Nice glove save by Olsen. Rebound given up, though, to Dordt, and trying to tuck that one in there was Dolman, but couldn't get enough of a stick on it. It was a nice save there by Olsen. 42 shots on goal. Yes, 42 shots on goal for the defenders, 19 for the Jayhawks. But are you surprised, though, with that 42 shots on goal, really, with how tough this defenders team is? At the point, Espenson. Veenstra. Wait, centers it. Does it get by Olsen? It does not. Ben Olsen able to save that one 5-hole. I thought that one was going to squeak by him. He thought it did, too. He checked behind. It didn't. As we'll redo the faceoff to the left of the net of Olsen. 2:28 remaining on the double minor to Johnson. Up high at the point again. Yet again, it's Zach Espenson. Veenstra. Same play we saw just earlier. We'll see if Veenstra tries to center it. Instead, he goes cross-ice, and they score! Dordt yet again on the power play, making it happen. This time off the stick of Nick Espenson. His team leading 5th power play goal of the year, 14th goal of the year, has Dordt dancing with a 6-goal lead.
Yeah, Ryan. So far this period, it's just been Dordt, Dordt, and Dordt. The Jayhawks haven't really been able to get that much time in the offensive zone, and I think that's what's led to a lot of the struggling and this fighting that we've seen so far in this period.
So this minor penalty to Johnson, there was 2:16 remaining on the penalty clock, and since it's a double minor, we'll reset to 2 minutes as it just did. So the Dordt will be on another power play for another 2 minutes. Johnson was trying to get out of the box, but he didn't realize it was a double minor, but I think he just wanted to get out too. As there's a nice wrister off the stick of Ruben Horneman. Now Malcolm Johnson will get his wishes to come out of the box, but at the cost of a Ruben Horneman power play goal. Wicked wrister over the glove side of Horneman, his 4th power play goal of the year, 20th goal of the year, 31st point of the year. Boy, a lot of big numbers to read there. Has Dordt now up by 7. Tough game to watch if you're a Jayhawks fan. Breyer shot. Rebound opportunity to Vaughn. Centers it now. Here's Breyer. Couldn't get enough on that one. It went to the side of the net. Near half walls. Finds its way back up to Breyer. The lefty shot. Breyer will try again. Tipped in front by Lang. Trying to go out to play that one was Nansen. And it's going to be a penalty here against Lang. And Lang doesn't appreciate this call. Nansen came out of his net to play it as Lang was just trying to play that puck. And KU bench doesn't like it either. And I don't know what the refs want him to do there. Lang was trying to go after a puck. I know the goalies are protected. They're going to call goaltender interference on this one. And I don't get that call. Nansen well out of his net. Both gentlemen there on the ice. Both men on the ice. Trying to, can't call them gentlemen when we're playing hockey. Come on now. Both men on the ice trying to get that puck. And yeah, Matthew Lang doesn't like that, but goaltender interference call. I don't like it either, but either way, Dordt yet again finds themselves on the power play. Up high, Zach Espenson. Veenstra tries to center it to Loken, lost it for a second, then got a shot that went wide of the net of Olsen. Tumbling down and neutralized was a Jayhawk and the defender. Dordt still with it in the near corner, 30 seconds to go on the power play. Cross-ice pass, shot there by Espenson, saved by Olsen. 14-16 remaining in this one as Dordt's on the power play again. Their fourth opportunity in the past 4 or 5 minutes. Face off to the right of the net of Olsen, won by the Jayhawks as it's up and into the netting, cleared by Roberts. They're going to say it went off the glass, so no delay of game called here against Roberts. Minute 24 remaining on the minor goaltender interference to Lang. Around the boards, Jayhawks will clear this one. Won't get all the way down though, as Andrew Benson's able to get to it. In fact, he'll bring it all the way down below his net as he ices a Jayhawk there as he stops on a dime as they look to reset. Puck lost at the feet of the referee there for a second by Mason Carrolls as the speedy Mason Carrolls now will look to race up the ice. Said he'll try to headman it. Bad choice there. Turnover. Feedy with it. Feedy tries to go 5-hole. Rebound on the backhand. He scores. John Feeney collects his own rebound, knocking his 6th goal of the season behind the net of Tim Nansen. Jayhawks, though, still climbing a big mountain, down by 6. Not much of a reaction, though, from the Jayhawk bench, of course, as this game is very much well at a fan, but if anything, just something to give the Jayhawks. A penalty kill's been great all year. Here it goes again. Huber with the wraparound shot opportunity. Saved 5-hole by Nansen. But as I was saying earlier, just something for the Jayhawks to be happy about. Their penalty kill, I mean, it's been 50-50 tonight as, well, that 50-50 percentage gets lowered as right in the low slot was Dordt to knock home an easy power play goal as that lead goes back up to 7 goals, 9-2 now. Courtesy of Isaac Bart, his second goal, 11th goal, second goal of the night, beg your pardon, 11th goal of the season. As it looks like here, scoreboard has just decided, scorekeepers have just decided to give up on counting the Dordt goals. They reached 6-2. But we know, and you folks at home know, that is a 9-2 Dordt lead. As here they come yet again, trying to add on to it again. Shot by Horniman off the blocker of Olsen behind the net. Jayhawks with it now, 13 minutes remaining into third. 46 shots on goal for Dordt, 20 for the Jayhawks. There's a shot on goal there, kicked aside by Nansen. Delayed offsides against the Jayhawks. They have to touch up, they do. So, last goal there for the Jayhawks coming off the stick of John Feeney, shorthanded. Jayhawks penalty kills have been pretty solid all year. It shows it to be there. Then right as I start talking good about the penalty kills, sure enough, they gave up yet another power play goal to Dordt. So, man, if you want to say the announcers jinx exists, well, hey, Exhibit A right here on the KU Hockey YouTube channel. Face-off won by Lang off the draw. Vaughn gets shoved off. Nice play by Nick Espenson, 5'9", 170, but boy, he plays like he's 6'2" out there. Pinned against the boards was Dordt player by Ignatichev. They both go tumbling to the ice. Ignatichev pushes him off. Shot there from the dot by a defender, saved by Olsen. As this puck finds its way out of the zone, icing waved off. Our linesman says it was tipped off of a Dordt stick. Finally, our scoreboard at Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk reads correctly. It's a 9-2 Dordt lead. As alongside Gavin Box, I'm Ryan Cartman bringing you this first of two here from Overland Park. A couple of Matcha Silver West opponents going at it. Turnover by Dordt. Shot. Rebound opportunity on the backhand for Siddons. He couldn't get that one to go home as Dordt exits the zone with Preston Wage. Wage skates up, forehand shot. Couldn't keep that one in his glove was Olsen, so the rebound goes to the near corner. Again, a lot of these scoring opportunities most of the game for the Jayhawks come off of ugly turnovers. As here comes Sweekum behind Siddons. He scores! Aiden Siddons. His 6th goal of the season brings this game within a 6-goal deficit now. Siddons squeaks behind the Dordt defenders as he cashes that one home, blocker side. So these past 2 goals for the Jayhawks have come off of mistakes for Dordt. One a turnover and one a cherry pick up to Aiden Siddons at the blue line of Dordt, sneaking behind the defenders for Dordt. None of those really are Nansen's fault, just wide open opportunities for either of these teams. There's an ugly turnover by the Jayhawks as Dordt looks to respond. Their lead cut down to 6. That's Callaghan with it. He enters barely cleanly as Huber had to slow down there so he wasn't in front of that puck for an offsides. Could have kept that one in there was Johnson. Opts not to for I don't know what reason. As now Dordt has it on their sticks with 11 minutes remaining in this one. Icing called here against Dordt. Close call. Thought Isaac Bart was able to make it there just in time to tie the Jayhawk defender in the race to the dot. But no luck there for KU as this face-off, or excuse me, beg your pardon, no luck there for Dordt as this face-off comes to the left of the net of Nansen. Face-off won by Dordt. Carroll's now will exit. Tries to feed it to Barpa, intercepted by the Jayhawks. At the feet of Breyer, he'll send it down the length of the ice. Benson couldn't get to it in time. He did, but now it's chipped to the Jayhawks. They shoot, they score! Luke Lamb, his 3rd goal of the season, now has Jayhawks down by 5 with just over 10.5 to go in the final period of play. And yet again, it's just another ugly goal given up by Dordt as they're just giving Jayhawks right now opportunities to score. This is a 2nd straight goal for KU. Lamb behind the net, pushed off by Zach Espenson. So you start to see a little bit of a plan of success, or plan for success, I should say, for the Jayhawks starting to form, as we'll get to that in a moment. Specker off the back glass and now into the near boards half wall. Up high Preston Wage. Wage will wrap it around behind the net of Olsen. Trying to get to it first is Breyer. Couldn't get a stick on it. So now it's along the near walls. Headband up to Feeney. Icing waved off here. But this playing for success, it seems, as, oh, here comes Dordt. They caught the Jayhawks on a line change. I'll try to get exactly what I'm trying to have to say whenever Dordt stops trying to hammer it in the back of the KU net. Up top, Jansen. Jansen shot off the side. Picking this up is Torlina. Torlina puts it on that off the pad of Olsen and up in the netting and out of play. Finally, can get to say what I want to say, and that is it looks like the plan for success for these Jayhawks is to capitalize off of any Dordt mistakes. There's been quite a few of them tonight, and finally, well, I can't say quite a few. There's been a few of them tonight for Dordt, I should say, and finally, finally the Jayhawks have been able to capitalize off those mistakes, and we see to success. Again, as I said, this could easily be a 9-7 game or so with the opportunities that Dordt has given KU some wide open looks to the net. KU just not able to cash in until these past few minutes, but it looks like it's going to be too little, too late for the Hawks as we're approaching the 9-minute mark to play in the third period. Dolman works around Robertson in the near boards, or far corner now, beg your pardon. Dolman tries to center instead off the stick of Hearn as Hearn tries to headman it up the boards. Icing waved off here. Puck didn't travel far enough. Torlina scoops it up. Torlina tries to go cross ice to Dolman out of his reach. Jayhawks send it down the length. And icing here. Don't really know what Malcolm Johnson's intent with that one was. I think he might have just missed a stick or a Jayhawk player missed that puck. There's no reason to ice that one there unless that puck was just mistakenly played. 8:40 remaining in the third. Jayhawks find themselves down by 5. Their biggest deficit of the night has been 9-2. They have clawed back and made it 9-4 and see if they can just get any sort of positive momentum continuing into tomorrow afternoon's game. Puck drop for that one scheduled at 4:15. With both these teams facing each other again, Huber tried to go behind himself, cross ice to Vaughn, but just too far in front of him, so it's Loken that picks it up. Loken shot there, gets poked aside by Olsen. Shot in front of the net. That one was deflected, looked like by Olsen, I think, and out into the corner boards. As Huber picks it up as he sends it around. Welsh and Huber battle for it. Callaghan now gets himself involved in the action. Huber tries to reach a stick out there and put it on the net, but he can't. Dordt gets to it first. Levi Loken up to trying to find his left winger, but delayed penalty called against the Jayhawks, and lots of motion I've never seen before. It's going to be against Aiden Siddons. I'll take my headset off for this one. I'm really curious what this penalty is. Unless they're saying too many men on the ice, don't know what that is. Either way, it'll be a penalty to go against Aiden Siddons, a minor. Try to get that call. Near side. Around the dot it goes. Headman up to Vaughn on the shorthanded side. Vaughn around one. Vaughn shot off the leg pad of Nansen. Played along the near half wall. Jayhawks trying to kill time and hey, maybe get themselves another shorthanded goal. Their lone shorthanded goal of the game coming courtesy of Feeney. Hearn. Saucers that one down just in front of the stick of Lang. Couldn't get to that one, so here's Dordt now. Horniman. Rounded down he goes. He stops and waits to find a lane. This puck finds its way along the glass, along the stanchion as the Jayhawks clear it. Okay, I couldn't exactly hear what that penalty call was there. Heard our PA announcer say 2 minutes, and it sounded like for chirping. Obviously, that's not what that would be. That would be a misconduct, and that would be unsportsmanlike conduct, excuse me. Shot there by Specker. Looked to go off the head or the mask, helmet, excuse me, of Tegan Dolman. He's a 2-goal scorer tonight for Dordt. He tried to make it a hat trick there, but nice save by Ben Olsen, as it looks like his mask came loose as well, so he'll look to readjust that.
I believe the penalty was for tripping, but I wouldn't be surprised. There has been a lot of tripping. I would not be surprised at all, but I think the refs have decided to go with tripping.
Oh, I beg your pardon, folks. I should have known this one. That's a charging. Right there, had to look that one up. Charging, they called, as there's a shot by Carrolls, saved into the gut of Ben Olsen. It was a charging assessed to Aiden Siddons. A penalty you don't see called off. This is the first charging I've ever seen in a KU game. To be honest, I haven't seen one in an NHL game in a while either, at least one that I've watched. So I had no idea what it was. It looked like a false start there that you would see in an NFL game. High slot opportunity for Loken. Couldn't get enough of a stick on it as it goes to the near boards to Carroll. Carroll's back to Loken. Loken tries to toe drag around one and said thanks for the better and sends it back to Carroll's. Carroll's to Benson. Benson's shot gets kicked aside, a little knuckle puck there to the side of the net of Olsen. 3 seconds left to go on the penalty kill for the Jayhawks. As out of the box comes Aiden Siddons. He'll stay on the ice. Backdoor attempt there for Dordt. Dordt's thinking they scored, I think, but no, waved off. Looked like the arms of Bart were up, like he just had a hat trick. He might have been trying to maybe instead say what's up to Aiden Siddons. And it will remain a 5-goal hockey game. 5-goal deficit in this hockey game. Well, it started as a quick hockey game here in Overland Park. Has seemed to drag on a little bit in this third period, even a later second period too. Just a lot more goal scoring. Jayhawks haven't contributed to that in this third period specifically. They've had 3 goals of their own in this third. As this puck goes off a stick way up into the netting, looked like a home run in batting practice right there off of the net. As this face-off will come to center ice. 50 shots on goal for Dordt, 24 for the Jayhawks alongside Gavin Box. I'm Ryan Cartman, bringing you the first of 2 games between the Dordt defenders from Sioux Center, Iowa, and your Kansas Jayhawks. The Jayhawks, though, find themselves outmatched in a 9-4 deficit against Dordt. Both these teams, yet again, will face off tomorrow. Puck drop scheduled 4:15 right back here at Advent Hill Sports Park at Blue Hawk in Overland Park, Kansas. Streaking down the left side is Specker. Saved there by the right leg pad of Olsen as it's behind his net now. Now it squirts out to the right, and it's cross ice to Vaughn. Vaughn working against Torlina. Vaughn tries to get around him. He does. Vaughn on the backhand, tried to go 5-fold, couldn't. As we have a whistle here, as I think the net came off its bearings. It did come off its bearings. Early whistle call there by our official, I might add, as well as Dordt was looking to exit the zone, but the referee was having none of it. That might be what. And that could be 2 things Tim Nansen's talking to a referee about. One is, why did he blow the whistle there? 2 is, why is there no interference there against me? But Vaughn was just streaking in with possession of the puck. So I'm guessing it's that first one of, hey, why did that whistle blow? Because I don't think there should have been a whistle blown there either. That's Ignatichev with it. He coughs it up to a defender. Shot from the point by Dordt. Doesn't make its way through traffic. Jayhawks send that one down the length of the ice, and it is an icing. 4:23 remaining in this final period of play. As it's now 51 shots on goal for Dordt. The most shots the Jayhawks have given up at home this year, if I'm not mistaken. Face off to the right of Olsen. Won by Veenstra. Around the boards it goes. Trying to get a stick on it was Ignatichev, but he couldn't. Instead, this puck comes in front of the net of Olsen. As we're going to have a delayed penalty here called against Dordt, and there was a slash there in front of the net. Nick Espenson slash Daniel Ignatichev. Easy call to make there for our officials. That one didn't look too hard, as the Jayhawk power play will look to come back on the ice and see if they can tally their first power play goal of the night. It's been a struggle tonight for KU, and man, you know they'll feel good if they can finish this game off with 3 straight goals of their own, unanswered. Penalty up on the board. Again, it's going to be a minor slash to Espenson. His first penalty minutes of the season. This is not a heavily penalized team, Dordt, as we're under 4 minutes remaining in the third period. Not a heavily penalized team at all. The leading penalty minute getter for this Dordt team was Ruben Horneman, who has himself a power play goal tonight. The irony there, as we're talking about Dordt guys going into the sin bin, as Horneman only has 21 penalty minutes on the season. And through 16 games for the defenders, or 17 games, excuse me, having only 21 penalty minutes as your leading penalty minute getter. That's a very good number to hang your hat on there. And again, we talked to Tyler Morgan before the game, and that's something this team loves to focus on, just playing some clean, honest, good hockey. As we've seen it tonight, as the Jayhawk power play has a minute left to go, and well, really there's not been much to talk about for the Jayhawk power play because they really have not been able to set up anything at all with 50 seconds remaining on it. Under 3 minutes remain now in this final act of play. Laying with it on the stick, feeds it up to Vaughn. Again, all forwards on this power play for the Jayhawks. Aiden Siddons, shot well wide of the net. No need for Nansen to even make a play on it. Welsh will send it down to length and saucer it. Kicked aside by Olsen. Nessa races for it, trying to stave off the forecheck of Prasklis. Puck there goes off the back glass and now finds its way in the near ice. Crossed for Huber. 10 seconds remain on the power play for KU. As, well, might be an understatement to say it, but absolutely nothing has happened on this power play for KU. As out of the box goes Espenson, and well, you wouldn't even know the Jayhawks were on the power play with that one. Shot by Ives off the stick of Nansen, up and into the netting, out of play, as we have 117 seconds remaining in this one. Dordt more than doubling up the Jayhawks on shots on goal. 25 for KU, 51 for Dordt. Linesman blows it dead for a second. Our back linesman, I think he was trying to tell Aiden Siddons not to get so close inside the circle. Shot off the draw by Johnson, goes off a skate as Dordt clears it off the glass. Nessa chased down by Dolman, and man, Dordt, they are not done yet. They are looking to add some more salt to this open wound for the Jayhawks. Aiden Siddons got a stick lifted there by Loken, so taking that one is Dolman as he got pushed down, as Dolman's looking for a hat trick. Both Dolman and Isaac Bart looking for hat tricks, and they are both right now out on the ice. Speaking of Bart, there he is on the backhand as he shovels that one to Dolman. Speaking of both of them. Dolman up to Bart. Torlina and Bart were both teammates trying to see, hey, who wants it? I think Torlina let Bart have that one, see if he can get himself a hat trick. 70 seconds remain in this one. Delayed offsides against Dordt. They touch up. Behind the net goes Ives. 1 minute remaining in the third period. Ives' shot goes off the stick of Jansen and up in the net. Boy, I haven't mentioned it all game, but how big is Christopher Jansen? 6'6", 205 pounds, the sophomore out of Rosedale, British Columbia. A big kid. Only international students that Dordt have are all from Canada. They represent Alberta, Ontario, British Columbia. Going down there was Blake Hearn as he was battling with Mason Carrolls. Puck goes up high there, glove down by Schlechter. Hearn behind the net to Lang. Jayhawks look to exit the zone. They do. 32 seconds remain. Head man up to Bullard off the stick of a defender. Puck in the Jayhawk offensive zone now as they try to find anything to happen. 20 seconds remain in this one as Zach Espenson waits for his offense to get set. 15 seconds remain. Dordt see if they try to make one last push for a goal. Schlechter loses it to Roberts. Bullard with it now. 7 seconds remain in this one. Glove down by Wage. Final shot for the Jayhawks. Kick side by Nansen as this game comes to an end. And was there any doubt? Dordt walks away from this one. The number 10 team in Division III improves their record to 18-1-0 as the Jayhawks fall to 11-6-1, courtesy of an offensive onslaught from the Dordt defenders.
Yeah, I mean, the whole game, Dordt has just been keep making sure the puck stayed in the Jayhawks' zone. I mean, there's little time that the Jayhawks possessed the puck, and whenever they did, it usually resulted in a turnover.
We'll pause here with both teams as they get into Center Life scores Dordt Christian University as both teams come together to pray. Both teams ready to break apart. Great tradition there by Dordt every time that KU gets to play them. Circling the center dot of the ice as Dordt salutes their fans who travel down the 5 hours from Sioux Center, Iowa. But Gavin, as we look at KU, seems like they found a little bit of success at the end. They did score the final 2 goals of this game unanswered, and it was off Dordt mistakes. And frankly, I think that's really one of the only ways, if not the only way, you can really score off this defender's team.
Yeah, I agree, and we saw with, towards the start of the third period, the Jayhawks, they started to get some more time in their zone. They set up a lot more, and they connected on their passes. That is another thing that the Jayhawks struggled with throughout this entire game, was connecting on the passes, and that's what led to a lot of Dordt's possessions. They were able to just easily turn the puck over and head to the Jayhawk zone. I think this really gives a lesson for the Jayhawks to take into tomorrow's game, to really try, make smart passes, make sure to keep having the puck in the offensive zone, and just really try to capitalize. Because also another thing, the Jayhawks weren't able to take that many shots on this game. At the end, 26-51 in favor of Dordt. I mean, that really shows you. That really, not only the scoreboard but also shots. It really shows that Dordt was able to dominate this game, and I think that that's something that the Jayhawks can really take and try to change tomorrow. More time in Dordt's zone, more shots, connecting on their passes, and then it should be a much closer game than tonight's game.
Yeah, well, the key for the game for head coach Andy McConnell for the Jayhawks was that you can't lose the puck battles. You got to get it deep and control the zone. And, well, frankly, the Jayhawks didn't do any of those three. They got in deep at some points, but then it led to easy turnovers for Dordt, and they were able to exit the zone easily. And, well, frankly, 9 goals speaks a lot if you're a Dordt defender. Well, it was a 9-4 Dordt victory. Jayhawks 4 goals coming courtesy shorthanded John Feeney, a goal from Aiden Siddons, a goal from Luke Lamb, and the first goal of the game for the Jayhawks scored by the captain, Brett Siddons. Meanwhile, for Dordt, well, again, it was an onslaught. 7 different goal scorers for this Dordt team. Ruben Horneman on the power play, Tyler Welsh on the power play, Isaac Bart had a power play goal and an even strength goal himself. Mason Carrolls had a goal. Nick Espenson had a power play goal, his team leading 5th power play goal of the season, 28th point of the season for him. Rylan Veenstra had a goal himself, upping his team lead to 23 goals on the year, give him 46 points on the season. What a year that young man is having out of Edmonton, Alberta. And finally, Tegan Dolman, 2 goals himself, a freshman right out of Dordt, Sioux Center, Iowa, added his 11th and 12th goals of the season. Well, folks, the number 10 team in Division III improves their record to 18-1-0 on the year. Meanwhile, the Jayhawks fall to 11-6-1 6-1 on the season. Both these teams will be out tomorrow right here in Overland Park for a 4:15 p.m. local time, Central Time puck drop between these two Matcha Silver West opponents. Well, for Gavin Box, I'm Ryan Cartman. I will not be here for tomorrow's game. Instead, it'll be Jack Maurice and Gavin Box taking you through tomorrow's afternoon game. And, boy, they'll do a mighty fine job. I can guarantee you that one. Put the Ryan Cartman stamp of approval there. So, for Gavin Box, I'm Ryan Cartman saying so long. And Gavin and Jack, they will see you tomorrow afternoon. Keep it on here until 4:15 p.m. on the KU Hockey YouTube channel.